have some.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Yes Have Some podcast. My name is Craig Goldberg. Welcome to the show. It is an icy, cold day in Atlanta, Georgia. I know like half the country is dealing with some sort of massive winter storm. We're kind of getting the tail end of it, or the bottom half of it. So, but we have power. We're not in danger. Abby, my mom texted me to ask if we were okay, but we're okay. Are we not okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've been texting family and kind of making preparations. And the rain is falling pretty heavily right now, and I can see all the ice kind of forming on the branches. So yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
Jacob,
cold.
what's your ice situation?
People in South Georgia I don't even think they know what ice is unless it's in sweet tea. It's been in the 70s here the last couple of days. It's not. I've been getting a lot of texts from people, and I really appreciate it, like saying like stay safe and all. And I'm like, we're good. It's missed us completely. We're good down here. So yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of prepping for my entire weekend to be indoors, but it didn't even start till late last night. So we had a pretty normal day yesterday. But we did stock up on groceries. I think there's a lasagna waiting for us. Very Garfield coated.
Of course. You just got a bunch of lasagnas.
I got a bunch of little lasagnas for my little Garfields too. So they can all enjoy it.
But welcome everybody to YHS. Thanks for being here. You probably heard at the top of the show because I recorded it a little while ago, and I'm going to put it there. A little note about. Well, you will. Maybe you won't.
I won't.
I'll tell you what it says. It's for Cryptoids. It's to let people know that the Kickstarter page is live for Cryptoids, which is our original line of toys and action figures based in the world of cryptids. Your Mothman, your Yeti, and so on and so on. This is a project we've been working on for years. We're finally bringing it to the world. Lots of good reception so far. Lots of good feedback on the Kickstarter page. So if you want to learn more and keep updated, go to cryptoidstoys.com and save that launch page, because that's where you'll automatically get updates about when we go live. And Abby, March 20th is the date that we are going live. Cryptoids will leave our headspace and go into the world. Is that scary or what? Is that exciting?
It's very exciting. And I feel like I need to add that's 4 days after Craig's birthday. So as a birthday gift to him,
that's all I want.
If only, sign up for that. I think it's really exciting to be where we are and to like have access to something that we're creating that's becoming tactile, and that we're weaving our passions and the things that we like and our tastes into. It's very full circle and very exciting, and a little nerve-wracking, I'll be honest, knowing what's coming ahead. But there's no two people I'd rather be in this with than y'all, plus our team, Tristan, etc. Mm-hmm. It's just exciting.
Is that his last name? Is his last name etc.?
Yeah.
Tristan, etc.
Tristan,
Glowing Ghost on Instagram.
No, it's crazy. And like Jacob, we've been talking about it nonstop. And like, honestly, yes, please don't send me a birthday present. If you want to send me a gift, back
the Kickstarter
Cryptoids. Yeah. And listen, what's cool about it, and this is one of the things we've been talking about, like there's going to be entry points for all sorts of collectors. Like if you want to dabble and just get a figure or two, that's cool. If you want one of the mini figures, you could do that. We want it to be like, there's going to be like a $20 or $25 figure, right? Mm-hmm. Where you could say like, money's tight. We're very cognizant and aware of like the state of the world. So you could support it by just getting one or two of the small figures, or you could go all in. We're going to have those options as well. So there's appeal for collectors. There's appeal for toy enthusiasts, YHS supporters, and just casual toy people too. So also like, I think the big unknown, which is kind of funny because it's such like an unknown thing anyway, is like tapping into this cryptid community where they're starting to hear about it a little bit, and I've seen the reaction from like Bigfoot enthusiasts and Mothman type people is very like they have never been, exposed to cryptid toys like this. It's usually like a plush or like a kind of a smaller.
Well, much like the mighty Bigfoot, the community doesn't get seen very often, and we're
Mhm.
taking control of that.
Yeah. But it's like, you go to like a Mothman museum, there's a lot of like uh smaller wares and kitschy things and plush and like little PVC figures, but we are giving Mothman the star treatment here.
Yeah.
So it's very exciting.
Yeah.
It no bullshit. I've never been this excited about a project that we've worked on ever, because it has the potential to become a full-time business, and if that happens, it's only going to give us even more time to work on YHS and do all the things that we love. So I'm excited, and I appreciate you guys being there with me. Abby, anything else on this?
Just that the reactions are like heartwarming, like you've said. You sent to our group chat that someone like responded on one of our Facebook posts about cryptoids that like their daughter is squonk obsessed. And I think that's awesome. I love that there's people out there, even though they might be hidden in the shadows, kind of like the cryptoids themselves, like you're saying. I love that they're out there carrying the torch, and that in some way we're able to like bring their dreams and our dreams into reality. I know that cryptids have always been something that I have been fascinated by. So to be in a world where I'm playing around with them, it's really satisfying. It's the kind of thing that I'm excited to take to the world. So yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah, the world building's fun, the lore is fun. And then Jacob, like, I mean, I don't want to get on a soapbox here, but we do live in this time where like more and more discussion is happening around like AI and like, the suppression of art, and it's costing people jobs and livelihoods and stuff like that. To do something that is like purely like an artistic expression, and like Abby said, tactile. You are doing these designs. Tristan is doing these sculpts.
Tripsin, etc.
I know where I'm going. It's just cool. Like, it feels like this is the time where like we need, like, I'm not just doing the sales pitch. I mean, I am a little bit, but this is
a little bit.
But I'm trying not to, because like I get excited when I see something like this from somebody else. We're very inspired by other toy lines like David Igo's Monsters or Mythic Legions, or what the guys at Animal Warriors of the Kingdom have done. And we're just kind of doing our own version of it. It's just cool. Like, I don't know. Yeah. It's like, it's positive. We need something positive.
Yeah. I mean, everything you said, yeah, you're right. And it does feel good to just be able to make something and put it out there. And when you make something and you create something, a piece of art or whatever, you write something, and you put it out there and people react in a good way, instead of like just yelling at you or telling you what you're doing wrong. It feels nice. So it's good.
Wait, are we going to address that controversy from this one?
Well, no, I just mean like that's what the internet is. It has nothing to do with us specifically, but like that's what the internet is. I don't think we've ever done one video, and this is every single like creator, because of the internet. It's very, very easy to, be anonymous and sit behind a screen and like say what you don't like about what people are doing. And that's right. That is the normal thing to do. So, and I mean, you get some of that in Cryptoids, you get it in YHS, you get it in toy, you get it in everything, but
right.
It's humanity. Yeah.
But it feels nice when it's overwhelmingly the other way.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I mean, we're just going to keep it positive. It's all good.
Yeah.
So we'll stay tuned for more on that. Cryptoidstoys.com it takes you right to the Kickstarter. What is going
do you need a nap? What is happening?
I got a great night's sleep. Cryptstarter and Bloodstarter. Have they done Crips and Bloods action figures? Maybe that'll be our next line.
Nope.
We are very excited about it, and you can learn more on the Instagram at Cryptoids Toys. There's a Facebook page as well, and we'll be talking about it a lot over the coming weeks and months. So very, very cool. Okay, so for today's episode, we're going to be, well, we always take a little time to talk about like what we're engaging with as far as content, books, movies, magazines. Although I was looking for the newest issue of Toy Collector magazine at Publix. Can I tell a little Publix story real quick? I told Abby this. I was shopping and the grocery stores were like very chaotic because of the impending snowstorm. And by the way, I get it. Like Atlanta, it only takes about a quarter inch of ice to cripple the entire city.
Hold on. And Craig was like, boy, there's a big storm coming. I hope there's still copies of Toy Collector magazine left on the shelf.
Yeah. So
we got to stay entertained. Yeah.
So this thing happened. I was in an unfamiliar Publix, a Publix I don't normally go to, and there's different layouts for the store. So everything was backwards at this store, like produce and everything was on the wrong side. So I was all confused. And there was one lady who, for whatever reason, every time I turned the aisle, we kept almost like bumping into each other. It's like, when you go to a store, there's like one person you see like 10 times. Yeah. I was looking for the magazines. This Publix did not have a dedicated magazine aisle. They only had them at the front registers. So she was coming up and I was there and I was like, oh, I'm still shopping. I'm just looking at the magazines. And she looks at me and just deadpan. She goes, oh, so you're the one who still buys those things. And I was just like, what?
Oh.
God,
that's kind of saucy. I think she might have liked you.
Well, I don't know if it was all that, but like, I'm just trying to find Toy Collector magazine because I want to support Blake. And anyways, I didn't find it, and I was just like, and then I tried to make a joke because when we ran into each other, I was like, oh, we got to quit meeting like this. She was like, what? I was like,
it's like she's completely forgotten who you were from. It's like
she razzed you, you're done.
She's a normal person and doesn't pay attention to the other people in the grocery store.
Well, anyways, I got everything. We're good. I did not get Toy Collector magazine. Yeah. By the way, I am like that. Like I go out for the essentials. Like, oh, there's a snowstorm coming. Better go to the comic book store. Better buy a toy.
Better do it now.
So, but anyways, so like we were having this discussion recently about like, IP, and there's been so many movies made of basically everything. Like every book gets a movie. Every comic book has gotten 50 movies. There's remakes, there's TV shows and everything else. And we kind of started having this discussion about, basically the question was, and Jacob, you're the one who proposed this, like why there's certain things that haven't gotten movies. Like why? Like what has stopped this from becoming a film? And we all kind of put some thought behind it. And I think it'll be a kind of a good discussion because it got my wheels really rolling about different, and but it could be anything, right? It didn't have to be.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
it could be anything.
I mean, like most of the things I came up with are books because, like, let's face it, that's where most of movies come from anyway. Like most of our entertainment is based on a book or a story or something. But like, right. There's toy lines and comic books and video game and there's like anything, whatever. So
cool. Abby, I know you had some fun. Was this a fun exercise for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure that my ideas kind of push some of the parameters of the rules a little bit as they always do, but
there's no rules, Abby. When
I went by my own rules.
Yeah, exactly. Like to me, the only rule I gave myself is it's something that hasn't been made into a movie yet. That's it. Like it doesn't matter where it came from. I don't care if there's been a show.
Right.
Just, if they've never made a movie out of it, why not?
Yeah. Abby, I know I saw
Abby's like 5 of mine are movies.
5 of mine are movies.
Yeah. No, actually, like, yeah. I'm excited to get into it. It's just what I went with my barometer internally was what's something that I love that's never been brought to the screen that I'd like to see. And in a couple cases, I thought maybe more of a TV series rather than a movie, but we'll get into that. So,
okay. Abby, I know you also had some like, I didn't look at your list, but I saw you had jotted down some like runner-ups or not like, do you want to do that at the end? Or didn't you have a couple that were like,
no? Yeah, they're all legit.
Okay. Well, why don't I start?
I had one that was a joke answer, which is an Eyes Wide Shut sequel, but this time it's about the franchises.
Wait,
they franchise out the parties?
So yeah, exactly. It's like how they do. It's a ghost on the joke buster, or it's a joke on the Ghostbusters community.
The Tennessee
get it.
the Tennessee version of the Eyes Wide Shut party.
Oh yeah.
Tennessee Cordelia's.
When you said
You
franchises
have
at
to
first,
bring a mask and a quart of sweet tea with you.
I thought you meant like they were franchising out the costume store into like different cities. I thought that's what you meant. No, I get it. It's like you go into Shark Tank, you're like, hi sharks, did you know that in the high stakes world of the rich and the powerful in the major cities, they're having sex parties? That's right, Mr. Wonderful, sex parties. And now we can bring it out to you even in your own small hometown. Is that kind of franchise?
Yes,
Okay.
sure. Actually, what I was thinking of is just like literally what they're doing, but like with the Ghostbusters community trying to run little franchises. And I just thought it was funny.
They give
And
out
because of the constant demand from Ghostbusters fans for like, let's do a movie, but include the franchises.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Find where they're coming from.
I want my Eyes Wide Shut certificate.
Yes, exactly. What posthumous Stanley Kubrick piece of paper?
Little patch. Cute little patch, little
They
sticker.
hang my patch on the wall.
Yes, you guys both get it. I'm so glad.
And there's like a rivalry between the Georgia Eyes Wide Shuts and the Atlanta Eyes Wide
And
Shuts.
the other Georgia Eyes Wide Shuts.
Yeah.
Now you guys are getting it. Exactly.
Now we're getting it. Now it's hilarious. Okay, now we're getting it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
just didn't know.
Jokes,
Yeah. I just didn't know what you meant by franchise, but now I really like it. And it's like, hey man, that like that mask has original lineage to the Tom Cruise mask. They didn't give me credit. Okay, that's very funny.
Yeah, that's
okay.
fun.
Good. I'm glad that I
Can
gave
this be the episode
to nibble on?
I'm gonna start us off because I never start us off.
Okay.
All right, here we go. This to me is the home run layup of all time. It's kind of a remake or a revisitation of a concept. Okay. My idea that it's and maybe I've brought this up before, but this to me is the greatest idea for a modern update on a horror movie that could be family friendly and fun. You do Monster Squad with famous slashers. Okay. Why hasn't this been a movie? Why can't I see a group of kids?
Well, I mean, I can easily tell you why.
No.
This is a movie.
Listen. Time out. Don't start talking about.
Hey, also, it's also very clear we came at this at a very different. This is going to be a
just wait till you hear my shit.
Whatever you're doing is nothing like what I was imagining.
No. But my other ones are closer.
But also, it's completely fine.
Okay, I'm just saying that. Okay, let me reel it back into something more realistic. When
you don't have to just go.
But I'm being serious here.
Okay.
When they did Freddy versus Jason, right, and it finally happened, the talk in the horror movie world was more versus movies. We need Freddy versus Michael Myers. Forever there was going to be Ash versus Hellraiser, and just like and Ash was always in. I don't know. By the way, we love Ash, but why was he always like it was going to be Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, which I would want to see, but. Now we're in this time period where all these franchises are dormant. There's no Freddy movies. Jason, I don't know what they're doing. We love you, Jason Universe, but what's happening over there? And Michael Myers.
They took down Sweet Revenge. I don't know if
I know.
You can't watch it anymore.
That's the revenge.
No.
Michael Myers, nothing's happening. You've got all these kids. Nostalgia's a huge thing. I talked to a guy at the comic book store the other day. He's like 20 years old. He's obsessed with horror. He's got a horror VHS collection. Like, people want these characters. People love Stranger Things. Get some kids on bicycles. Team them up with the top 5 slashers of all time. Imagine Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Leatherface, Chucky, and the Leprechaun in some small town teaming up, but maybe it's the opposite. Maybe the kids aren't good. Maybe these are the 5 bad kids in town. And like you do because like Monster Squad's actually kind of cute and it's got heart and that kind of stuff. It doesn't even have to be that. I'm just saying in general, you've got horror icons that are just sitting there on the shelf that need to be dusted off and put in film.
Mm-hmm.
So do it my way as a team up. Okay.
I mean, that would all be great. But the easy answer to why that doesn't happen is because it's all rights things. I mean, it took over 20 years for them to finally get the rights to make Freddy versus Jason, and then it sucked. You know what I mean? Like it killed those franchises for a while.
Now they can't even make a Jason movie without rights issues, just with Jason.
That's what I'm saying. Like the rights issues are so crazy, and none of these rights holders are probably ever going to come to like an agreement, especially to put 3 or more of those characters in a movie together. That's why it worked with Monster Squad, is because those characters are all, there's no copyright.
Right.
Like you can make anybody could make those kind of movies with those characters. It's just
Oh, but then why don't they do a movie where like Mothman and Yeti and Squonk team up?
Are you changing your answer to that? Because that's a good answer.
You know, there is I actually wondered about that. Like there are plenty of Bigfoot movies. There are plenty of like Loch Ness Monster movies. There are cryptid movies out there, but there's no like good cryptid movie. You know what I mean? There's no like really, you got like Mothman Prophecies, which is it's a good movie, but it's like barely about Mothman.
It seems like, and then there's Harry and the Hendersons. Like it just seems like, I know
there's some good ones. But they're mainly like schlocky. Like
it just feels like such a good idea, and it makes me wonder why. Like, are we about to learn like a lesson that people don't like?
100%.
Is like, are we going to get shut down by the actual cabal, like the shadow government? Like, you guys are a little too close to the sun.
Don't talk about that.
The lizard people.
Yeah, Abby, we all get replaced by reptoids.
The Reptoids are trying to host a podcast. Anything else? I mean, is there any horror icons that you like to see team up in general in a film?
I've always said Chucky, Tiffany, and the Leprechaun and the Seed would be great to see them all together. Those are just my personal favorites.
Yeah.
I like the little slashers that wreak havoc. Yeah. I mean, I see all the reasons legally, like, and financially why that wouldn't pan out, because it's like, you know, they want to, the people who own these properties are like, let's not throw them in a casserole and only get a small portion of the money. Let's make them a feature.
Yeah.
So I understand that, but I also understand your sentiment. And I think that if you had further developed this idea, it would just go right into what you're already saying, which is, why not a Cryptoids movie? Why not a Cryptoids movie?
or the core thing is like, I don't need them to be together. I just want them to be making good Freddy movies and Jason movies and Michael Myers movies and Chucky. Like, just stop with the bullshit and just make some good.
Well, it's
like,
crazy.
Problem.
I'll get off this in a second, but I was thinking about this the other day in the shower. It's crazy.
Craig thinks about Michael Myers in the shower.
No, I was thinking about Freddy, actually. I was in the bathtub. My legs were spread.
This is a Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 situation.
I was at somebody else's house, dude, and Nancy. I went to the Wheeler's house from Stranger Things down the street. I broke in.
Did a Nancy? Hell yeah.
I did a Nancy.
Don't say that.
I know. After I said it, I said no.
Well, her and the other guy broke up, supposedly. Maybe. I don't know. One knows.
IRL?
No, just in the movie, in the show. But again,
right.
Did they?
Well, everything was melting.
We'll find out in the 9th episode.
Right.
So listen, this is fun. I really enjoy podcasting with you guys. What I'm saying is, they try to expand the lore of Friday the 13th and Michael Myers and all that. Nightmare on Elm Street, that is a world that you could actually build out, because it's, you know, he's a sleep demon and all that stuff. I would like to know more about that. If they, or we should just need another Freddy movie. Anyways, let's move on. More horror icons, put them together or separate. Make a movie of it. Abby, what's your first one?
First pick, I had to draft from my favorite toy line of that I've been collecting for a while, which is Calico Critters. I think there should be a Calico Critters feature film. And I acknowledge that there has been an animated series. Jacob, you gave me a VHS tape that had those episodes on it. And that show was kind of like weirdly like moral and like kind of Christian leaning. Like the episodes were not really imaginative. It was definitely during that time where Satanic Panic was a thing.
Yeah.
Was like,
well, that's why I got it. That's why I got it for you, because I thought you needed a good lesson, you know.
I did actually. I needed to be brought back. And it was a little bear in a tuxedo that did it for me. No. Okay, so my concept for Calico Critters is to, as I was thinking about them, the world that the Calico Critters Sylvanian families have, they have got a lot of them seem to have like money and wealth and very nice places. And so it sort of made me think of some of the stuff that I've been reading, which is like Britlit stuff, Wuthering Heights and Jane Eyre, and furthering that, like some of the Dickinson, like Great Expectations. I was thinking about that, and I was imagining, like, what if there was a story? What if we were telling almost like classic literature stories through the Calico Critters in like a very
Kind of like the
serious,
Muppets, kind of like how the
yeah, yeah,
kind of like how the Muppets do it, but more.
yes.
Yeah.
Part of me was like, okay, do this as stop motion, but I say no. I say bring really talented animators in to do like a Miyazaki feeling, like really
Sure.
serious, heavy stories. Like think Downton Abbey meets Gilded Age, but with hedgehogs wearing little hats and foxes wearing vests. And for me, I would absolutely love that. Like put real drama into their lives. I love period pieces, and the Calico Critters all seem like they're from like a different era and a different time. And I love the idea of creating storylines for them and backgrounds. And there have been Instagram accounts that have done this. I think some of them have been shut down, but I'm like, do it in a way that honors literature and that honors the brand, Sylvanian families and Calico Critters, because I know that a lot of they are selling to kids. Like I know there's adults like me, weirdos, who love the Calico Critters, but put something educational out there. It felt kind of viable to me, so that's why I'm going to throw that out there.
Well, I like that answer, and doing the Calico Crit. First of all, I would love to see like the Calico Critters do Macbeth. They all like
Right.
It's just all crazy. They all die in there, and
right.
but
Cool.
I think about like I don't know if you guys are familiar at all with, like, a couple years ago there was a show on Netflix, and it was a Pokemon show, but it was like stop motion style animation about a hotel, on like a Pokemon hotel on an island where
That's fun.
Pokemon like check
Exactly.
in with their owners and just have like little adventures. And
Yeah.
I was never like I've never watched a ton. Like, I'm not a Pokemon dude. Like, I
Mhm.
know things. I've played a couple games, but I don't know much. But I watched that show, and I was
Yeah.
like, well, this is what this should be. It's not about the rules of the card game. It's not about fighting and collecting Pokemon. It's just like really cute animation and a
Mhm.
really cute story. Why don't they do
Yes.
more stuff like this with other character? Even other. That would work with anything, like
Yeah.
Calico Critters or the Muppets or just
The
whatever.
working title that I jotted down, sorry, Craig, was Sylvanian Manor. And that would fit
Yeah.
very well into like the Grand Budapest Hotel. Like if it was all about just one specific location kind of a thing, and like the people who the critters that come in and occupy in their stories. That, I mean, yeah, like I would love to see that happen. I think it'd be really fun to work on that.
Yeah.
And then like as that series takes off, you kind of Disneyfy it and do like a live action style thing that, like, we'll see how that goes.
At the beginning, when you were like, "Oh, the Calico Critters, like, they're wealthy and they're very high class," I thought you were going to be like, like an Eyes Wide Shut type thing.
Dude, I will do Eyes Wide Shut as here's what I'm really wanting. I want someone to build a set for me, and I want to have like every available Calico Critter, and I want to be able to do stop motion animation filming. And I think that would be super duper fun. Sure, animated series, that's for someone else to do, but I want to do the stop motion.
Hey, I want to see the Calico Critters version of The Shining. And then, in The Shining, there's the one clip of the guy with the bear mask. So just have it actually be a bear, but when he pops up, he has a human mask on.
Yes.
Like that's the whole, you build the whole adaptation around that scene.
Yes.
That would be such a funny joke.
Yeah. They're a fun template, like, to tell stories with. So yeah, I want that. I just want it. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
Very cool.
That's very cool.
Oh, I was thinking, like, I think about like how many comic books are in the world and how, like, you have all these Marvel movies, and you know a lot of the Marvel movies are, well, I mean, I guess all of them are adapted from comic books. But why is that like why is that it? Like why are you like I know like Ninja Turtles was a comic book and there's a couple other movies that started as graphic novels or comic books, but there are I mean the amount of comic books that get written and put out, you know, yearly is probably like I bet there's more comic book like entertainment wise than probably any other form of entertainment. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah, sure.
So I just wonder why there isn't more like I know a lot of times when like new Star Wars stuff comes out, you always see the comments where people are like, why don't they just adapt this part of the comic book? You know, why do they? And I know usually when I see arguments like that, I'm like, shut up. But also, why don't they? Like if there's like
Yeah.
thousands of comic books about Star Wars that are maybe good, like why not just adapt that or anything? And people they're you know like you know it happened kind of like with Paper Girls, you know, that was a comic book.
Yep.
And then they turned it into a show. I just feel like inspiration could probably be found in way more comics and it's not being utilized in a way that it could be. And there's this old comic book that it's a little obscure, but in doing research about it, I found out like it had a pretty big run and they brought it back a couple times and they brought it back fairly recently. There were issues of this comic book called Hookjaw.
Okay.
Mhm.
And it was like a Jaws ripoff type thing, but it's about this very big shark that somebody tries to catch it and it has this big hook through his jaw. And he gets mad and he kind of becomes like a vigilante and like the comic books are just about him eating as many people as possible, but the comic books tried to make it where most of the people he's eating are like poachers or people who are
Right. People deserve it.
polluting the
This is
ocean.
your kind of hero. Yeah.
And I was like, wait, this would be why this would be cool. This would be such a fun movie. And then that's part of the reason I liked The Shallows so much when that movie came out, because like halfway through that movie, you find out that shark has a hook through its jaw. And I was like, oh, this is kind of like a hook jaw movie, like a secret hook jaw movie, you know? And I wonder if whoever wrote that movie was inspired by that at all, or if it was just a coincidence. But I don't know. I just think like we could look at comic books and probably make way more original fun films if we spent more time. Not we isn't, you know, just like
us,
the people out there.
I mean, I agree. I mean, think about just the amount of independent comics that are made. There's incredibly talented writers out there, and like you know, back in the days of yesteryear, I think comics were kind of looked down upon as like not a real form of, but
sure,
you know, writing or whatever. But I mean, some of the most influential entertainment of the last 20 years has derived directly from comic books. It's actually
300.
300
Ninja Turtles. Like, there's
Judge
a lot.
Dredd.
There are a lot. Yeah. The Watchmen,
You know, it obviously. I mean, listen, it's no jokes.
No jokes.
I can't do jokes anymore. I have been reading comics this year for the first time in a very, very long time. I will be completely honest with you. With my ADD, it's very hard for me to read a comic, because there's so much going on the page. There's words everywhere. There's images everywhere. I don't know which way to read it. I don't know what I'm supposed to look at first.
Pretty straightforward.
But I'm telling you, like, I'm not
you how you read it. Yeah, that's the beauty of it. No one's telling you how to do it.
Anyways, I read. So I described. Let me describe to you how I subscribed to the DC Unlimited online portal, where you pay $12 a month and you get basically everything they've ever published. Because I do like buying comics, especially if it's a cover I really like. But from a practicality standpoint, I'm not going to be, you know, there's just so much. But there's all these key comic book runs, and Batman specifically, that I've wanted to read my whole life or for forever, and I haven't. So I read Batman Year One last week. for the first time ever. It was fucking awesome. And then I started today, actually, I read the first 2 issues of The Long Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I'm telling this story is because as I was reading The Long Halloween, I was like going through, I was on my computer, but let's pretend I had the thing. And I was like, whoop, Christopher Nolan took all that. This scene's from The Dark Knight. Like there's a scene in the first issue with Batman, Harvey Dent, and Jim Gordon on the roof of the Gotham City Police. And I'm like, oh, this is literally from The Dark Knight 10 years before it came out.
Greg discovering comics is the funniest thing.
Yeah. I discovered comics this week.
You mean they put this in a movie?
I was really enjoying myself. But The Long Halloween's great so far. I can't wait to get into it. And part of the reason I'm reading The Long Halloween is because there's a lot of rumors that it is heavily inspiring the upcoming next Robert Pattinson, Matt Reeves movie. So anyways, I agree. Comics, man. And Abby, you've always gotten really into, you were into Saga and Paper Girls and
Brian K. Vaughan's my kind of like ushered me in, like I'd say my gateway comic book author. I didn't get into comics for superheroes in any way. Well, I guess you could say before, but one of my very first graphic novels, which is how we like to call them, graphic novels. Preacher was one that I read and bought when I was like still in my teens, and really liked that like big world of like good and evil and deities and like duality of man and all that being packed into a really violent, fun, animated, like cartoon comic book. I think that's cool to blend those worlds and to put big ideas in. So after Preacher, I got into Y the Last Man. My sister-in-law gave me a copy of that actually one Christmas, and I just carried straight through. And that's an amazing comic book about if there was something that happened to every man in the world and they're all gone and there's only one left, and what happens to society. And it's a woman.
That man was Bam Margera.
I think they made a show of that, right?
Yeah, they did. I didn't watch it. There was a monkey character named Ampersand. I think that it came out in a time where it wasn't like as impactful, or maybe I think it was during pandemic times and people were shying away from watching something where there's something that is wiping everyone out massively. So anyway, long story short, love comic books. Brian K. Vaughan also did Paper Girls, which was really close to my heart. And I went to that panel at Comic-Con and I watched that series, which was canceled, unfortunately. But yeah, using comic books, much like horror movies, like it's a world where there's not as much like money and like management and monetization of things. So it's almost like the more creative stories and the more unique ones from different perspectives can be told. Yeah. And also that thing where it's like you use art and drama, or you're using cartoons to show stuff that like your brain wouldn't normally see. So being able to see awesome stuff, it's like anything can happen in a comic book, and that's what I think is awesome.
If somebody just Abby, that's amazing. That's good perspective. I like that a lot. Real quick, I've been thinking, we're on our 10-year anniversary this year. If somebody would have told you right before we recorded the first episode of YHS that when you look back on 10 years of YHS, you will have survived an all-female reboot of Ghostbusters that did a lot of damage, for good or for bad, to the franchise. And then there would be a true Ghostbusters 3 and 4, but you would have to survive an international pandemic to see it. You'd be like, well, that doesn't sound real. It's just crazy how much has happened in the lifetime of this podcast. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate all of that insight. Okay. My next one is actually based on a book. You like that? This is a book that
is it an autobiography?
No, it is. It is nonfiction though. The book
/
yes, this book is the Guns N' Roses true story. No, it is. The book is called Console Wars, and it is about. And I read it years ago, and it is about it's the true story of the rise of Sega as they battled the powerhouse of Nintendo in the early 80s into the late 90s. And like, it got me thinking. I love these types of movies that showcase like these real types of stories. When we were kids, we would talk about. Jacob, I imagine you were involved in this to a certain extent. Like the battle,
the console wars.
Well, were you in the console wars?
Which side were you on, Jacob?
You fought in the console wars?
That was a long time ago. We would sit in the lunchroom, the lunch table, and this went on for a decade, whether it was first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, whatever. We would talk about Sega Genesis versus Nintendo or Super Nintendo as if this was the most meaningful, important thing happening in the world. And as a child, it was, because it was like, if you had a lot of kids had Nintendo, but when Super Nintendo came out, it was like such a game changer. But then it was like, or you could get a Sega Genesis. And I never had a Super Nintendo. I had a Sega, and then like I aligned myself to the Sega brand. It was Team Sega as a kid. I had Genesis. I actually never got Sega Saturn, but I was day one Dreamcast. But the movie is actually really, really interesting. And it's all about like Sega was a struggling company that didn't have any market share. They had a great product, and it wasn't until Sonic came out to have like a true competitor to Mario. And then like there was a period where like Nintendo was on the ropes a little bit because Sega and Sonic the Hedgehog was a very, very, very big deal.
Oh yeah, it's huge in my house.
It is still, obviously we know that Nintendo ended up winning the console wars, but those characters are still around, and the Sonic movies are huge.
Oh, I'm wondering, Craig, is this since you're like, is this a documentary, or are you picturing this like those movies like The Founder, or
like that, or The Social Network? Yeah,
that sounds okay.
No. You got to understand.
Like the way the lives of the creators are falling apart, like very close.
Well, because there was this internal battle because the Japanese branch of Sega was really jealous of the American branch of Sega, because America was doing all these like everything in Japan was like very buttoned up and structured, and these guys were like, it was like the Wild West, and they were doing like all these crazy new marketing campaigns. And then there's like the whole thing when like Mortal Kombat comes out, and there's like congressional hearings because they're like, we can't have violence in video games, and Nintendo was like the more wholesome. I don't know. This is what I
want a courtroom drama about video games.
No, Craig wants like a Matt Damon starring head. He's the head of Sega Genesis, and it's like kind of dramatic. It's like fake dramatic about a video game, and it's like.
But then in the 90s, like Sega Saturn was supposed to be like this big deal, and it kind of flopped. And then Sony comes out with PlayStation. It becomes like the biggest console of all time. It's just fucking cool. I'm reading Nintendo Power.
I love the inner workings.
I do.
I could see sausage.
I could see a movie like that doing well. I would be, just personally, I'd be more interested in just watching a documentary about that. Those kind of movies to me are like, I don't need a dramatic
You're gonna hate
movie.
my next one.
I don't need like a weird, dramatic, kind of low stakes movie about why McDonald's exists. That's bullshit.
I do.
That's not a real.
I do.
There's nothing fulfilling in that for me. But I do think that's an interesting
it's
story.
A great book, by the way. I might actually reread it because I read it like 10 years ago. And I want to say,
was there a part 2? If it was written 10 years ago, there's got to be a part 2 where they're just talking about, I mean, there's been a lot of Nintendo stuff.
There's been a lot of Nintendos since then. Well, Jacob, real quick, what was your system? How did it roll out for you? What was your video
rolled
game
out?
history?
So we had a regular Nintendo that turned into a Super Nintendo. We did have a Sega Genesis, but never had like PlayStations, never had a Dreamcast. And then we kind of, from the Super Nintendo, we kind of just jumped to like Nintendo 64. It was mainly Nintendo for us. We were a Nintendo family. Still, still are.
Still are.
Oh, yeah.
We've been circling that Switch too for a while.
Yeah, and growing up, Mine was a Nintendo family, but very, very late to it. Because the system that my brother and I had was that original, like the gray box. But we got it like in the late 90s, probably like 97 or 98, from a garage sale. And I remember watching my brother play Final Fantasy on there and Zelda, and I played Kirby's Dream Land. And then eventually we got like Game Boys, the two of us, which were a huge deal. And since then, he's gone on to be a huge gamer, and I am still, I'd say an avid fan of Fortnite and other things. So yeah, it's important.
We had a GameCube, and my mom bought the GameCube for Christmas for her boyfriend at the time, who was like, we all lived. They never got married, but like most of my life she was with this guy, and she bought him a GameCube for Christmas, and I talked her into letting me open it and hook it up in my room like the week before Christmas, because I needed to test it out. So I was in the back in my room with it turned down playing it, and then I had to put it all back in the box, and we wrapped it up,
Yeah, you're like, hey, just to let you know, that new Mario Galaxy is pretty tough. Level 3, you're gonna want to
help.
We had a GameCube. We had NES and then Sega Genesis. Never had a Super Nintendo. I did get a PS1 very briefly, only to play WCW Nitro. Had N64, obviously, but Dreamcast day one, $99.99. No, I'll never forget the marketing worked. I still remember the day it came out. And I've told this story before when I talked about it in the lunchroom, that I got a Dreamcast that day, and someone goes, what, do you have an ATM in your living room? And I was like, what does that even fucking mean?
I want
to. They think we paid cash?
They thought you were rich because you bought $100.
Yeah, sorry to have to wait 25 years to get my Dreamcast on my 21st birthday or something. Had a GameCube, had an Xbox, first Xbox too. Anyways, all right, Abby, what do you got?
Speaking of games and such, I feel like I should go into one of my gaming ideas. Because I was, like I told you, I also was a fan of Nintendo 64. That doesn't actually play into what my idea is, because this idea is based on a PC game, not your traditional game. So growing up, if you've watched the show, I've mentioned this. I was a huge fan of the game The Sims. And I can't say that I'm still like playing it, but I've always had the idea that the Sims world would be a fantastic format and stage to tell a horror story, because that's how I played the game as a kid. It's kind of the appeal is after you're done like building mansions, and once you figure out what the passcode is, which used to be Rosebud, you type that in, you get lots and lots of money, and then you build your mansions. As I would grow tired of playing God and having all the money, I was like, what else can I do to entertain myself? And at that point, that's when you start kind of like tormenting the Sims and like figuring out ways to, take stuff away from them. And that's at least where I was. So I've always had the idea of a live action horror feature that starts with like a woman as the Sim swimming gleefully in the pool, and it's nice, and she's having a good time, and she swims towards the rails and the ramp, and as she's reaching up to it, it vanishes in the air into thin air, and she falls back, churning into the water.
She just can't get out of the pool.
Cut to scenes of another Sim screaming censored obscenities trapped inside a room with no door, going hungry, and into the red in his battery. Who's behind all this? And it's you. It's the humans are always the ones in control of it. So that's my pitch for a Sim style horror movie. And I just think it would be a really fun world to live in. And I know for a fact that mental torment that I used to like put the Sims through is something that I still find terrorizing and terrifying. So yeah, I think that would be a fun horror movie.
Couple things. I found out fairly recently that there is a hardcore, full of drama Sims community, still very active.
When I would play, there was a forum I used to go on where folks would do storytelling through screenshots of their Sims, and so there would be like drama and like almost like a soap opera style telling of the people who lived inside the house.
Nice.
So yeah, that piqued my interest. It was a way to tell stories in a lot of ways, because I'd be like, oh, these people have this money because of these reasons, and his job is this, and she's a DJ, and like whatever else. So I love that stuff, and I imagine the community is full of fanfic because it's based on fan fiction.
They are making a Sims movie, by the way.
For real?
Oh, are they?
Yeah. It's been kind of in some form of development. Margot Robbie's producing it. They have a director. They want it to be kind of meta, like Barbie. But
well, my idea would fit in. We should
actually
hook up.
the thing you just said is funny about the pool.
I like a horror idea over like a Barbie-esque. I don't
don't want it.
They did it with Barbie. Well, I don't need that again.
Not doing that. No. I like the idea of sorry, Jacob, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I like the idea of it being scary.
I mean, this wasn't on my list, but if we're gonna like, give me a roller coaster tycoon movie.
Okay.
Because it was the same thing. I was like, I'm about to build a roller coaster that everyone's gonna die on it.
It's called Final Destination 3. I don't know. Isn't that the beginning of that movie?
That's awesome.
I want to reiterate, and this is completely fine. This is not a complaint here.
Mm-hmm.
The two of you have come at this episode in a completely opposite way than what I was picturing. So it's completely fine.
I imagine.
And I think it makes it more fun, but
I realized that that was going to happen in the beginning.
Yeah, well, I don't think my intention was for us to like pitch a specific movie. Like it's fine because it's fun, but
let's hear your next one.
Not what I did. Well, I want to keep it with you guys are talking about video games. Let's talk about video games. I thought it was pretty crazy how long it took to get like a Mario movie that was like the game. And I remember I probably have. I think we've probably talked about that before on the show, back before it was announced that there was a Mario film. I'm like, why isn't there doesn't that seem like a home run, a Super Mario movie? But there's another franchise that I've always been surprised they've never made into a movie, and that's Metroid. Like Metroid has been around since the original Nintendo. Super Metroid and the original Metroid are like kind of known as being some of the best games ever. It's super fun. They're still making like a new Metroid just came out for the Switch. Like it's a very like I would put Metroid, I wouldn't put it as high as like, Mario or Legend of Zelda, but it's like it's in that conversation. Like when people talk about, what the most well-known games are, Metroid is one of them. And the story is really cool. It's like you're a bounty hunter. You have this really cool outfit. You're sent to this planet to capture the last Metroid in existence. And then just the planet is scary, and it's like kind of got alien vibes, and there's creatures. And at the end of the game, it was known for like, once you beat the game, it's revealed that you were a girl the whole time, and that's part of it. Samus is a female, and it's got like kind of Ripley vibes. And I'm like, wouldn't that just be a fun movie? How come they haven't done that yet? I don't understand what the deal is there. It seems like a home run, kind of writes itself adventure movie with weird creatures and aliens and like a badass who's doing cool shit.
I guarantee after Mario was so successful that they went back to like assess all of those properties to figure out what could be.
Well, in Zelda there is a Legend of Zelda movie being
Zelda's
like that is the thing. Like, and then Minecraft is like the biggest movie in the world. So I mean, maybe there's right now there's all, but I feel like it's almost the same deal with as like comics. There's so many video games. There's a game. I don't know if you guys ever played Star Fox.
Rumble Pack.
I loved Star Fox 64. Can you imagine like a kind of cute, almost exactly like what you were talking about earlier, Abby? Like if you did like almost Miyazaki style animation and did a Star Fox movie where everything's really cute, but it's like a war movie with this. Yeah, just like a cute fox and a fucking ship. Like that seems like it would be great. I don't know.
Yeah, give me that. I love that.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. Well, I've got one more. Jacob, if you don't think you'd go see Console Wars, I guarantee you're not going to see this movie.
Okay.
But this was one of the biggest news stories.
Hey, I have seen The Founder, and I thought it was fine. But I just want to say that
the Michael
McDonald's,
McDonald's movie.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. This is one of the biggest entertainment news stories of our lifetime. I feel like over time it's kind of faded into the distance a little bit because just what happens. I would like to see a comedic take on this. I have specific people that I think could do this movie, but this needs to be a movie, like David Fincher or somebody needs to make a movie about the 2014 Sony hack. This movie or this event literally almost started World War III. If you remember, this group, I don't even have to look up what they were called, the Warriors of Peace or something like that, hijacked all of Sony's computers and told them if they released The Interview, is that what that movie was called?
Yep.
The Seth Rogen movie.
Yep. Not even a good movie, by the way.
Not even a good movie. The movie, if you remember, was about Seth Rogen as a journalist going to assassinate Kim Jong-un or Kim Jong-il or whatever.
Yeah.
That they were going to do this huge leak of all of this private data, internal emails. They threatened to attack movie theaters. If you were remember, it was going to come out on Christmas. It was a crazy thing, led to an international crisis. Sony did not comply. They leaked everything, and then the leaks. Listen, I know from a Ghostbusters perspective, we learned a lot, but even beyond that, you have executives talking shit about actors. You have just all of the internal correspondence of this movie studio. I mean, it completely shifted the security industry. And I think enough time has passed that Seth Rogen should make a satirical movie about how his movie almost started an international conflict. I think there's something there.
I think they should. I would watch that if The Lonely Island made it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't.
They're entertaining.
Yeah, I don't need the Console Wars. I want the dramatic retelling. Let's stretch the truth.
Yeah,
all the way.
Just let it be fun.
Let it be fun.
Yeah. Hey, why would you think I wouldn't want to watch a movie like that? It's about Sony and about an entertainment that seems so fun.
But yeah, it's just crazy. The hackers were making 9/11 style threats. Yeah. And I don't know, it was just such a big deal. There was a database online. You could go read all of the emails. This is where we found out that Channing Tatum and Chris Pratt wanted to make a Ghostbusters movie. This is where we found out all of the inner workings of the Paul Feig, Ivan Reitman chaos.
Some stuff that will make you feel very differently about
Answer the Call.
That movie and the people around it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just kind of crazy. But yeah, I think there's something there for a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's pitch that to Eric.
Eric, think of it. The Interview 2.
That's what it's called. The interview part
they call it The Interview Part 2. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to start the war. Abby, anything else?
I might see that movie. Yeah, if you want a real answer, Jacob, one that I came up with, which I didn't develop thoroughly, but I would love to see a live action Peter Jackson or Guillermo del Toro directed version of The Name of the Wind, which is the fantasy book I've talked about here. And I would want Ewan McGregor to star as Kvothe, the main character. And I just think it would be amazing to have that be because it takes place in a completely different world, but to have a 3-part live action, just like Fellowship of the Rings version of the first book, The Name of the Wind, all 3 parts, and just take it into a fully immersive place, take it far away from studios and from green screens and make it real, make the magic real, and the beauty and the tragedy and all that. I'd love to see something deeply like original and fantasy driven like that has themes of strong women and friendship over family ties and all those things that I love. So Patrick Rothfuss is an incredible author, and it would be really cool to see his books on screen. And I think a lot of people would back me up on that. It's not just me.
It's crazy to me how little like fantasy movies are actually made, considering how popular The Lord of the Rings is, considering how popular Game of Thrones is. Like it and maybe that stuff just gets relegated to TV because it's longer form storytelling. But Abby, that sounds really cool. I like that idea.
Yeah, that's the kind of like that's the kind of thing we need more of, that kind of stuff, you know. I I had a couple, like, I'm gonna just kind of blast through a couple of I think a lot about, I watch a lot of, and I know you do too, Abby, but I've watched a lot of Twilight Zone, and
Hell yeah,
think about, you know, there's like a, you know, there's over 100 episodes of the original Twilight Zone, and some of the stories are so good. And I'm like I think about like Ray Bradbury and like Richard Matheson, who, you know, some of Richard Matheson's stories were adapted to like later Twilight Zone episodes when they brought the show back. And these guys all have like so many stories that are just like hidden in books somewhere that would make great movies. And Ray Bradbury wrote a story in a book that I got from you, Abby, that Dinosaur Tales book.
Yeah.
There's a story in there called The Foghorn, and it's like about a sea creature that visits a lighthouse once a year because the sound the lighthouse makes is the same as the sound it makes, and it thinks maybe it's like lonely, and it thinks maybe the lighthouse is another creature, so it shows up.
Saddest thing I've ever heard.
It is a sad story, but I'm like, hey, we'll make a fucking great movie. And I same about like HP Lovecraft, you know, like you know, dude was an awful person. Like we don't have to talk about that, but like At the Mountains of Madness is like, it's literally one of the greatest horror stories ever written, and it's insane it's not a movie. It is insane that it's not a movie. I don't know what the deal is. And you know, like tons of stuff he wrote. He there are some movie adaptations of some of his stuff, but like you hear about Call of Cthulhu and all that, it's like, why is that not made? Like it is cited as inspiration to so many people, and you hear so many filmmakers and authors and creatives like cite specific Lovecraft stories. And I'm like, okay, well, if it's so in everybody's mind, how come we've never adapted it? I just don't know what the deal is.
I know there was a TV series that had Lovecraft Country, but I didn't watch.
But Lovecraft Country wasn't like directly adapting any of the. It was like it was kind of like Castle Rock, you know. It's like taking things
and weaving and growing them.
Yeah, well, it didn't just take a story and say, here's it. It's been done with some of his stories, but like literally the two biggest stories he wrote were At the Mountains of Madness and Call of Cthulhu, and it's like we don't have those. I will say the last thing that I thought of, and it was the one that I want to happen the most, that I don't understand why there isn't a movie, is James Gurney's Dinotopia. That book series is really amazing, and the original books are fully illustrated and really thought out. And you know, the story is that a father and son shipwreck. They land on an island where dinosaurs exist, and they speak, and they have evolved to like live alongside humans. And there are certain areas where you can't go because some dinosaurs didn't, you know, evolve or whatever. And they did like 4 main books, and then there was like a huge like novel book series, and they made a cartoon, and they made a live action TV show that was like horrendously bad, but it's never been made into a movie. And you know, dinosaur movies are like, I feel like severely lacking. There's Jurassic Park and what else? What other
5 more Jurassics?
Yeah, and it's like, what other live action dinosaur movies are like out there and popular? None. It's like Jurassic Park doesn't have to be the only one. So it's just strange. Dinotopia is just like, it's a really beautiful story, and it's strange to me that that has not happened. And I know there was talk of a new show or something a couple of years ago because we tried to go to the panel, and it was there was a panel at Comic-Con for a Dinotopia show, and we found out while we were in line that it was canceled. So I'm like, wait, was
the show? They canceled
the whole thing was canceled because we've never heard anything about it. So I don't know. That just, I think that's like it's ripe for a film, and it's easy. And it's all right. It's like the work's all done for you. There's storyboards, maps, literally it's all spelled out. Just somebody make it, please.
I got one more thought on all of this. And Abby, you might as well, but I've got one more thought that crossed my mind while we were talking. Now, the content of what I'm about to say is not so interesting to me, but from a business perspective, here's some free advice to the world of faith-based filmmaking.
Okay.
These faith-based comedies and faith-based movies tend to do really well in the box office because they're made for low budgets, and all those people
and
go
low IQs. Sorry.
All those people go see them. Now,
might have to cut that. I'm sorry.
You
don't have to.
I like it.
Imagine if they made one that was actually good. Like, if you took some of the like. First of all, I'm
Passion of the Christ. What are you talking about here?
Like Left Behind. Like if they made a third version of Left Behind, but like made it not bad.
So Passion of the Christ, again, you got to take yourself out. Like, I am not a religious person, so the subject matter is what it is. But objectively, it's a well-made movie, big budget. Yeah. What I'm saying is, if I was a investor and I was trying to produce movies, I would be looking at the faith-based movies because they do, like, the return on investment. Like, they spend $1 million and make 40 million. Like, well, what if you spent 20 million?
And those, well, it would also be about the audience, because like those movies are not made. Those movies are made for a very specific audience, and it is an audience of people that may not care as much about the quality of a movie.
Yep, you're right. You actually just answered the question.
They just want a faith-based story that they can.
It tells their story exactly. They want to feel represented, and the Bible does command that that the people who follow Christ's teachings are supposed to be in the world, but not of it, which would mean that you're not really the idea of like Hollywood excess and like idolatry and all of those things. And making money in general is not something that
doesn't seem to be a rule they follow that much.
So I like that you're seeing it with dollar signs, Craig, and you're like, let's try making a good one.
God, someone's gonna clip this episode and said Antichrist confirmed. Here he is. He's here. He's trying to make money off faith-based comedies.
What is the one God's Not Dead or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, the Kevin Sorbo?
I've seen that. Yeah. I've watched a couple of these movies, and I've watched them because I was very curious about them as movies.
Yeah.
I've seen all of the Left Behind movies. They are, I mean, it's like, those are movies you watch. It's like watching the Twilight films. You like watch them because they're funny, because they're so fucking awful. And I was like, oh, I'm going to watch this God's Not Dead movie. And it was so offensive. You know what I mean? Like the plot lines in that movie are like, I don't want to get into it or make fun of anybody, but like, you know, there's some of those. I remember one, I don't know if it's God's Not Dead specifically, but I remember one of these movies had a plot line where a character was of another nationality. So he was, you know, whatever his religion was. And part of the big thing in the movie is by the end of the movie, he's like, I'm a Christian now. And I'm like, that's very offensive to all that whole group of people. And it's just like weird crap. And none of those movies are made to be good movies. They're propaganda. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Soulless.
It's
And
funny.
honestly, yeah, it is. The Left Behind books, Frank Peretti. I read the kids versions because there were kids versions and adult versions. And then I remember watching. I've shared the story watching the Kirk Cameron, like the first one.
Yeah.
I remember my dad brought it home to watch and was like, "This is a family movie night," and my brother and I were both just like, "Oh, like this
They're
is
like
terrible."
made to. Those movies are made to try to scare you into.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say because there is a deeply traumatic tie that I have to them because I grew up as a young child fearing the tribulation and fearing the rapture occurring at any point, and it deeply affected me and formed some of my early OCDs. So I don't think I really enjoy going back to those movies.
No, now what about that one where Kirk Cameron's a firefighter addicted to porn?
Fireproof.
Yeah.
PC.
I'll watch that. Yeah,
guys, I'm calling it right now. We're doing a fireproof Patreon.
If they would do a remake of Left Behind, give it a bigger budget, make it a little scarier and less silly, and only if the end credits have "Left Behind" by Slipknot playing.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
we all got left
listen,
behind.
as a non-religious person, some of the subject matter is like the fucking, what's the movie where Keanu Reeves is the devil's attorney? What's that movie called? I like that.
Constantine. What is that?
Not Constantine. The Devil's Advocate. Nah, I like that. That's fun.
I don't think that's like a primarily moral or Christian movie in any way, shape, or form.
But I'm just saying, like,
100% making the devil flashy.
Here's my thing. Take the religious texts and beliefs out of it. I've never understood, and maybe Abby can believe this.
Dude, remake Left Behind, but leave out every Christian ideology out of it.
I've often wondered, and maybe there's an answer to this, but I've never been. Maybe Abby can explain it. Maybe you guys can explain it.
Yeah.
This is not about the belief. If you are a believer and you follow the words of Christ, I mean, and all that, good for you. Good. Why does that mean, like, why is Christian music the worst thing I've ever heard?
Why make a bad movie?
Why does the movie, like,
yeah, I don't know.
If I had a religion, Abby, go for it.
Go for it.
If I can delete this later, but if religion and specifically Judeo-Christian, like the commandments in the Bible, teach people to repress their inclinations and the things that bring them happiness and the things that produce art. And it represses your creativity because there are so many rules and things that you have to follow. It is Christianity in general is keeping down the LGBTQIA queer community and making women feel small and needy, like the silenced. Like it silences creativity to always be on your toes and wondering if someone's up high is checking on you. And you never get to explore the actual things in life that are rich and delicious. And it's sad actually to live a childhood and a teenage life where you're not able to fully drink and eat and taste and know what life is like. And if you aren't, then you're left with like a complete absence of creativity, or like me, I suppose you just seek out the richest, most dense material that you can find that's like the most fucked up or the hottest and sexiest. And I suppose that in some ways that's what made me who I am today and gave me my tastes, but it's a very bleak world to try to be creative in. It's a very sterile place if you're all trying to be one way so that you can all get into one place when you die. It's very bleak. So
this should have been the whole episode.
Yeah, that was
that was very good.
And that also
came out of nowhere. I didn't write any of that down. I can tell you about my idea for the ET animated series Botanicus Babies if you want me to.
Babies.
Yes. Yeah, okay, we'll do it later. But three former podcasters take up jobs as maintenance workers at Universal Studios Florida while cleaning the forests of the ET ride. They're magically transported through time and space to Botanicus. Only a few years after the young planet is formed, the trio must help raise the aliens of Botanicus and care for the planet like stewards. In doing so, they learn a lot about themselves. That's my idea.
Awesome.
I love that. It's amazing. I want to say one more time. We all generally misunderstood.
I
the opinions on, and maybe that's our fault. Maybe we should have better meetings before we pick our episodes. But I love how all over the place.
I like how Abby's talking about how the repression from her childhood led her to invest in the most, incredible stories ever written by man. And I'm like, guys, console wars. Now that's a movie. I mean, Sega, you got Sonic, which is cute.
Pascal, her story, Sony's story in a movie.
I'm gonna go back at my messages to you guys and try to reverse engineer how you guys came to this conclusion. In
our defense,
the answer is we do what we want.
In our defense, it's been these challenging times that we live in. We're it's just there's a lot going on in the world. So, but I'm glad that this was good though. I thought we got some good discussion.
Sure.
Yeah, it's good to create your own.
You always know Abby's in a good headspace when her story idea starts with, okay, there's these 3 podcasts.
3 podcasters.
There's 3 podcasters who aren't getting paid to podcast, so they start working as maintenance workers. That's my idea. And then after, they're having fun, then suddenly, bam, they're back.
Suddenly, bam, Margera shows up. In Botanicus. Well, guys, listen, we covered some ground. We shared some opinions like we always do. I will be going to the Mondo website tonight to see if my Winston has shipped yet. I don't think it has, but I've been checking every night at 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And
is 9 p.m. Wait, is 9 p.m. when it?
No, when I do it.
Just check at 9 p.m. All right.
I'm
arbitrary.
There's some internal mechanism in me
check your email.
Listen, I just don't understand. There's something happening to me in my brain. I think I'm do you go through another growth puberty as a man? There's just my brain is just on fire lately I think it's just because I'm so busy with cryptoids and everything else. I just I feel a little, I need some chill time is what I need.
Oh, okay.
Nothing I said just made any sense.
Take a nap.
I do need a nap.
Nap.
Need another nap.
Nap will help that.
I don't know. I realize this thing. Let me just be vulnerable for a second. Remember the time I told you guys that if I have to pee really bad, my teeth hurt, and everybody was like, "Craig, that's not normal."
Yeah,
and it still happens. And one time,
still not
Borzu, our friend who's a dentist, messaged me. He's like, "Craig, that's not a thing.
That's a mind thing."
So
that's your brain.
If I have to pee really bad, my teeth hurt, and I've tried to look it up. It's literally I'm the only one. I'm a medical miracle
because you're making it up.
I'm not making it up. Well, pain's not a real thing anyway. It's just your brain interpreting.
Is this what you being vulnerable was
no,
reminding us about
something has happened to me every time I walk near my refrigerator. I start repeating this thing in my head where I go something from I start thinking about my dad, not in a bad way or a weird way. I just will go oh, my dad, I got to call my dad. For some reason, when I go near my refrigerator, I start thinking about how I should call my dad. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't.
You should be. This is like a psychiatrist. No, I don't even think a therapist. I think this is a psychiatrist.
I need the full deal.
This is there's something
about that
fridge. I don't think Jacob and I are qualified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys don't think you can help?
Your teeth wires are crossed with your refrigerator dad wires.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it's cold out. Sometimes if it's cold, you have to pee more, and my teeth have been killing me.
Is that true?
That's 100% true.
No, it is not.
It's with your blood vessels. Look it up.
All I know is y'all are making me happy. So
you're just saying.
Thanks for watching.
All right, everybody. This was fun. Got weird at the end. I liked it. It's a sign of a good episode. For Abigail Gardner and Jacob Walsh, my name is Craig Goldman.
Wait, I thought you were going to do a Seinfeld movie.
Yeah,
we should all go and take this project seriously.
No.
Then come back.
There should be a Seinfeld movie, but I realize I don't have anything to say other than I love Seinfeld, and there should be a Seinfeld movie.
Yeah, but you don't have to have. You don't have to pitch the movie. That's just a thing.
Okay, then I will finish
the thing.
The world.
Seinfeld's my all-time favorite show. I think they could revisit it in a movie.
Okay,
somehow.
Cool. Yeah, I
would like to know what those characters are doing. Probably doing the exact same thing that they were doing.
That's why it's funny.
Yeah. I don't have anything else. Abby, you're done?
That's it. Live action Garfield. That's all I'll say.
They've done that.
They've done that.
No, and it's not been good enough.
Jacob,
So I
anything
want to
else?
make it.
I'm good.
No, that's it.
All right. For Abigail Gardner and Jacob Walsh, my name is Craig Goldberg. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, leave a review, do all those things. And happy 10-year anniversary to Yes Have Some Podcast. It's going to get weirder. Bye.
Bye.
Do you want some coffee, Mr. Dolly?
Do I?
Yes, have some.
Yes, have some.